So you also have said that doing this cultural transformation can have its consequences too. Tell us the story about your days at Booz Allen Hamilton and what the challenge was there, what the consequences were, but what ended up happening on the outside.
Sure. So at Booz, that was the first time I actually saw this in play. When I first joined Booz Allen, the first month I was there, Time Magazine had a cover story, and the cover story said, Booz Allen Hamilton, they're nothing but brains on sticks. Back then in the late 90s, Booz Allen was doing a lot of business transformation. So they were going into companies and they were the company responsible for saying, look, you got to trim the fat, you got to let go of 1,000 people, or we recommend a merger or something. They also had their government group that was supporting the government in things like intel and cybersecurity and things like that. So there was a lot of division in the company, and their turnover was in the 20 plus percentile when I got there. So they embarked on a journey that they called the people strategy. And that was one of my first responsibilities, was to be one of the leaders in this people strategy and go through the process of figuring out what did we need to do in order to become a more people-centric organization. Our CEO at the time, Ralph Shrader, was very upset about being called nothing but a brain on a stick, which is what they implied. All brains, no heart. So we went through the process of defining, we called them core values at the time. And once they were defined, we actually continued to have a significant amount of turnover, but we actually had turnover at a part of the company that had not experienced turnover, which was our partners. So of the couple of hundred partners that we had in the organization, almost 25% left. Some of them actually left and started another consulting firm, a smaller competitor to Booz Allen, and others just left because they weren't aligned with it. And at the time, people were really worried because if you work at a consulting firm, the way you become a partner is because you've built a certain book of business in an industry or a market. So every time you lose a partner without having a backfill ready, without having your pipeline ready, you actually lose that revenue. That revenue is gone. It's irreplaceable. But in Booz Allen's case, they had the courage to say, okay, if you're not aligned, we're doubling down on these behaviors. We're going to go forward with these behaviors. And they went forward with them. Within less than a year, the company was back in double-digit growth. And so now we were at right around 2000 when it rolled out. And immediately after that was September 11, 2001, which of course the whole of everything went kaput. The company, the country was thrown into an immediate recession after that. And there was a lot going on. But during that period of time, Booz Allen's turnover dropped into the single digits, right around 6%, which was unheard of because most other companies were still dealing with double-digit turnover. And their growth went to around 20% a year. So they were about 500 million when I joined, and it became $1 billion company within 2 years after implementing the core values. So it was the first time that I saw that and started thinking, I wonder how many times this could be replayed.